Welcome to the 2018 UIL State Championships here at the Joe Jamail Swim Center on the campus of the University of Texas. I'm Jeff Power. Well, dominance and dynasty are the two words that come to mind when you think about the Southlake Carroll boys swimming and diving team. In fact, they've won 7 consecutive state championships. Kevin Murphy is their head coach, and who better than his own son to bring you his story? Sean?
My father, Kevin Murphy, became the head coach for Southlake Carroll Swimming and Diving in the fall of 2005. I had the opportunity to swim for him for all 4 years of high school and be a part of 4 state championship teams. Here's his story.
Coach Murphy considered it a blessing to get to come and work at Southlake Carroll and have the opportunity to work with such great talent.
I think God brought me to Southlake Carroll. Down in Bryan, I was coaching an outdoor pool and freezing every winter. I'd stood outside the doors to this aquatic center and looked inside and said, man, God, why don't I ever end up in a place like this? And 3 or 4 years later, I did.
Coach Murphy has just been, a blessing towards me, just a total gift from God. The 4 years I spent under him were really impactful, on my journey as a man. And I'm definitely a different person because of him, not only as a swimmer, but also a man. And I'm thankful for the time that I've had with Coach Murphy.
The Carroll coach used to compete as an athlete in the sport for 14 years, swimming collegiately at Oklahoma State and graduating from Tulsa University in 1983 with a degree in education. In 1979, while still in college, Coach Murphy started his coaching career as an assistant club coach, but it wasn't until he became the head coach at Bishop Kelly High School and Cassia Hall High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1984 that Coach Murphy got his first taste of high school swim coaching. 2 years later, in the fall of '86, Coach Murphy began a 15-year stint at Moore High School in Moore, Oklahoma, leading the men's team to 1 state title in 1987 and 2 second-place finishes in 1988 and 1999. He also served as the head club coach at Moore Aquatic Club during those 15 years. He first came down to Texas in 2001 to become the head coach at Bryan High School. After 3 years in College Station, Coach Murphy departed for a 1-year stay in Oklahoma as an assistant coach at Jeeks High School. It was during his time here that he received a call to come and interview for the head coaching job at Southlake Carroll. Although Southlake is a town that likes to excel in its athletics, Coach Murphy has always put more importance on his swimmers staying humble and having good character, both in victory and defeat.
Once again, it goes to trying to improve everyone. And so even if a kid is very, very good, my job is to make sure that they stay humble.
The culture of Carroll has definitely been instilled by Coach Murphy. We have a meeting at the beginning of the year, and he establishes how we should act towards others, how we should act towards our coaches, how we should treat our opponents, and how we should enable a friendly training environment, encourage others through the toughs and pains of swimming.
Coach Murphy will concede that swimming is indeed quite a tough sport, but if you put effort into it, good things will come.
Swimming is a very hard sport. I used to try to sell swimming to athletes that I would see around school. I don't try to sell to athletes, I try to sell to disciples. Whether they look like they're going to be a great athlete or not, they work extremely hard at swimming, something good can come from it.
During his first few years at Carroll, Coach Murphy focused much of his time and energy building up the bottom and the middle of the program, as he continues to do so today, with the intention of making every swimmer better and making every swimmer feel like an important part of the team.
I want everybody to know that all the kids matter, not just the fast kids. I'm there to serve the kids. I don't want to be abused by them, but I'm there to serve them, and it's their swimming, and I'm just a spectator.
Yeah, Murphy's been really a really big role model in my life. He's taught me a lot about overcoming difficulties. He's taught me a lot about perseverance, and he's also, again, just taught me how to always stay humble and be thankful for what I've gotten in the sport.
Coach Murphy's passion for the sport and his experience as an educator has allowed him to have an extremely positive impact on so many of his swimmers, teaching them about hard work, preparation, and perseverance. That, along with his drive for excellence and his personal ambition, has helped him to achieve such high levels, but he's still chasing more. Coach Murphy got his first taste of a Texas state title when the Carroll men's team captured their first of 7 consecutive 5A and 6A state championships during the 2010-2011 season. But Coach Murphy has never been one to brag about his team's accomplishments, again focusing on instilling humility into his athletes and making sure that they treat both their teammates and the competition with respect. And while Coach Murphy's life has been swimming, he knows that it is not most people's. So that is why he works to make sure that his swimmers become better characters and not just better athletes.
We use the motto that nothing behind you matters, and that is We're moving forward trying to improve. If they can improve and beat us, well, congratulations to them. Okay, but we're not standing still. We're trying to move forward, get better all the time so that we can maximize what we have. We can't control what anybody else has.
Thank you, Sean. Great story on your father, Kevin Murphy. Now, of course, if you haven't had a chance to actually see where Carroll ISD Natatorium is located, it's in Southlake. What a beautiful facility. In fact, we sent our very own Nick Walters up there to check in on the legacy that is Southlake Carroll boys swimming and diving.
The grass is always greener on the other side, and that green is Southlake Carroll.
Obviously, we have a long history of state titles here at Southlake, and so it's something that's really cool to try to uphold and carry on that tradition of excellence.
We've won 7 straight swimming state championships, and we are hoping to win our 8th.
The tradition ever since I've come in as a freshman has just been, win, 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 win. And, the guys that are still swimming there have done that.
We don't just run a watered down little high school program. We try to run a program that helps them achieve to the highest levels, even beyond high school.
In Texas, no swim team rivals the Dragons. And if you ask team captains Jack Levant and Logan Davis, it's not just thanks to their athletic talent.
It's over there on the record board. It's something that I see every day, and it's something that I think is really true about our program. We're not here just to be the fastest swimmers in the state or in the nation. We're here to be the fastest, but also be great people, treat each other well, respect other teams, respect each other.
Southlake definitely builds good citizens, not just athletes, because they constantly are providing us with great examples of how to act.
Well, we talk to the kids about character. We talk to the kids about helping the ones below them. We talk to the kids about pushing the ones above them. I try to model certain behaviors. They can see that there's something beyond swimming that they're working on.
Make no mistake, the Dragons roared onto the scene in football as coaching legends Bob Ledbetter and Todd Dodge put Southlake on the map. But since then, no sport has dominated their field like Carroll swimming, taking 7 straight state championships.
I'd really say it comes down to our work ethic. The guys we have here every day are showing up with a positive attitude, and they're ready to work hard because they know that's what's going to get them the best results.
The boys program, as I said before, we're the team to beat the next 2 years. I've heard a lot of coaches are waiting for our good swimmers to graduate so they can beat us. We're going to continue raising the bar and keep kids moving forward so that we continue to be the team to beat.
While Southlake Carroll makes most headlines in between the lines, Dragon swimmers are pulling away within the lanes, filling trophy cases in the process. For Fox Sports Southwest, I'm Nick Walters.
Thanks, Nick. I actually got to swim up at the pool in Southlake, Texas. And while a lot of history's been made there, even more history's been made right here at the Lee and Joe Jamel Swim Center, where the state meet's held every year.
The Carroll Dragons have a long history of excellence when it comes to the pool, an excellence that dates back even before the days of Coach Murphy. In 1983, Chauncey Willingham formed the Carroll swimming team, starting out with just a single female swimmer, Elizabeth Dunbar. He coached for 3 years, and Dunbar made the state meet during her sophomore, junior, and senior years. The team slugged away in the 4A division for a long time before achieving any real success. It was in 2001, under head coach Greg Fisher, that the Dragons finally won their first state title in swimming. In 2002, under Scooter Hutchinson, Carroll followed up their first state title and dominated the 4A state championships, scoring a whopping 300 points, while second place Cedar Park only managed to put up 205. The Dragons' dominance at the 4A level prompted the UIL to move the school into 5A, the highest division in Texas sports at the time. Over their first few years in the 5A division, Carroll struggled to really make an impact, coming nowhere near the top 10. It was right before the 2005-2006 season, Carroll's 4th season in 5A, that Coach Murphy was hired for the head coaching job. The boys' team finished 6th place in Coach Murphy's first season and came in 2nd place to humble Kingwood the following season, and even won the 400 freestyle relay at the end of the meet. The Dragons placed 10th in 2008, and at the beginning of the 2008-2009 season, they acquired Coach Lynn Gorman, who Coach Murphy coached decades prior when she was a teenager. The boys' team finished 7th place at the state meet during Coach Gorman's first year in Texas. The next season, the Dragons really started to take off and make a name for themselves, as the boys finished in 2nd place, just 9 points behind the Woodlands. It was at the 2011 state championships that the boys won their first state title at the 5A level, as they dominated the 2nd place Woodlands by a score of 255 to 181.
The whole team kind of came together. It's a common goal to win state. And as the year progressed, we really saw that our goals could come into fruition. And at the end of the year, with Connor Nolan, people like Connor Nolan, Ted Singley, Curtis Goss, those people as our team leaders, we were lucky enough to win state, and it was an awesome meet.
The Dragons would repeat the next year in dominant fashion, breaking the 5A points record and nearly doubling second-place San Antonio Churchill's score, 286 to 158. In 2013, the Dragons continued to dominate the 5A division, as the boys won their third consecutive championship in dominant fashion once again, outscoring the second-place Woodlands by over 100 points and breaking an individual state record in the 200 freestyle.
To be a part of, the Southlake Carroll Dragon history, something I'm really blessed to be a part of.
In 2014, Carroll continued to flourish, winning their fourth consecutive state title. Before the 14-15 season, all of the schools in the 5A division were moved into a new 6A division, and the Dragon men continued their winning ways, as they would go on to win their 5th, 6th, and 7th consecutive state titles during their first 3 years in 6A, each by seemingly a wider margin than the year before. They even broke their own points record twice in the last 2 years, scoring 295 in 2016, and then a mind-boggling 327 points in 2017. Without the athletes and coaches that paved the way long before state titles were won and even before Coach Murphy arrived in Texas, none of this success would be possible.
It's all about trailblazers. When I was in Oklahoma, I never had teams quite like these teams. So we came here and we sold some of the kids on some ideas, including weight training, etc. And each group has progressively gotten better and better. So now we have a pathway that's been blazed by the kids that went before the ones we have now.
In 2016, the boys became the first high school team in Texas and just the third public high school nationally to go under the 3-minute barrier in the 400 freestyle relay, as they finished in a state record time of 2:59.69, just missing out on the national record of 2:59.00. The Dragon men look to try and win their 8th straight state title this weekend in Austin behind the leadership of captains Jack Levant, Logan Davis, and Landon Jensen. Levant looks to break a couple state records of his own, hoping to go after Carroll legend Jonathan Roberts' state record of 4:16.90 in the 500 freestyle.
Obviously, we have a long history of state titles here at Southlake, and so it's something that's really cool to try to uphold and carry on that tradition of excellence.
The Dragon teams have dominated to the point that, over the last few seasons, less and less schools have wanted to schedule them in a dual meet. At the beginning of this season, the program hired Paul Wallace, a former University of Texas sprint freestyler with about a decade of coaching under his belt.
We're excited with how things are moving forward. I'm going to try and last 10 more years, and maybe I'll be almost as old as Eddie Reese.
Every school record has been broken multiple times since Coach Murphy arrived in Southlake. Just another testament to what he has meant to this program.
I'm not too much for the accolades. I'm more about seeing the kids do well. That's where my self-satisfaction comes from.
Southlake Carroll senior Jack Levant has broken a Texas state record in the 200 free at his regional championship meet in 2018. As Sean Murphy will tell you, Levant is going for the state record in the 500 free set by former Southlake Carroll Dragon Jonathan Roberts in the class of 2014. Johnny Roberts is a world-class swimmer right here at the University of Texas and is looking to make the Olympic team for the United States in the near future. Here's Sean with the story.
Before there was Jack Levant and Logan Davis, Jonathan Roberts was breaking school records and state records left and right.
It was just a lot of fun, and it was always great to be a part of, the Southlake Carroll Dragon history. Something I'm really blessed to be a part of.
Born in 1995, Jonathan spent his first 10 years in Pasadena, California, before he and his family packed up before his 5th grade year to move to Southlake, Texas. During his first year in Texas, Jonathan's father passed away. This was very tough for Jonathan, his mom, and his older sister, Jillian, but something that drove Jonathan to strive to be a better man.
It's something that's really cool to try to uphold and carry on that tradition of excellence. We had Johnny Roberts and lots of other really great swimmers come through this program, and just knowing that they came before us and we're carrying that on, that legacy, it's really cool.
Roberts was always a very talented swimmer, competing in and even winning events at statewide club meets in the 13-14 age division. During his time in Southlake, he was known for outworking everybody in practice day in and day out. Although Coach Murphy has been a great swim coach for a long time, Roberts admits that he owes so much more to his coach than just that.
Coach Murphy has just been, a blessing towards me, just a total gift from God. And he was really just a father figure to me, something more than a coach. And like I said, just very blessed to have him. The 4 years I spent under him, were really impactful, you know, on my journey as a man. And I'm definitely a different person because of him, not only as a swimmer, but also a man. And I just, I'm thankful for the time that I've had with Coach Murphy.
During his senior year, Jonathan committed to swim at the University of Texas in Austin. Roberts, a senior this year, looks to win his 4th consecutive team national championship next month at the NCAA Championships in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This would make it so that he will have never lost a championship meet in high school or in college. Swimming for such a high caliber team in high school prepared him for swimming for such a phenomenal college program, but not in the way that most people might think.
I see some definite similarities between the two teams, and I definitely think I make the right choice going to Texas. Love swimming here, love the guys. Just going right into UT, it was very similar and comparable to something like Southlake Carroll, you know, because not only were the guys so fast, but I think the team culture was just something else, and you know, uncomparable to anything nationwide.
So the Southlake Carroll Dragons men's swimming and diving team doing really well here in the preliminary rounds as well. We'll be bringing you all of the coverage on NFHS, and also Fox Sports Southwest will have a recap on the high school spotlight. Will the Dragons make it 8 in a row? How about the girls? They have finished in the top 3 6 times since 2010. A lot of success on that side as well. Plus, the diving board has been really good to Southlake Carroll as well. We'll have the complete wrap-up on the high school spotlight on Fox Sports Southwest Sunday night at 10:30.
Good.